Hey guys, it's Dan, your host, your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another video. We're going to do a retrospective video on the first 3 episodes of the Daryl Dixon series, and simply say, how is it going so far? Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another discussion topic video. This one, we're going to be talking about the Daryl Dixon series. Now that we've reached our halfway point for the first season, I want to kind of talk about the season overall, so far at least with the first, half season of season 1 being out, like the first 3 episodes. How is the show going for us so far? How is the show doing? How do we think the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon spinoff is going? And, do we think it's good? Do we think it's bad? Do we think it's mid? We're going to discuss that in this video, and we're going to talk about it overall. So, if you've watched the reviews for the Daryl Dixon series, you'll know that I've been very surprised on how great this series really is. I really have been enjoying it. I've really been enjoying the story for it. And I think overall the show has done very, very good. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I remember a long time ago, back when, the show was first pitched and I heard that this show was going to be about Daryl in France. I was like, buddy, what? Like, what are you talking about, Daryl in France? First of all, how does that make any sense? Second of all, that's not a good idea. Like, I remember I was so against it, I can't even lie. And you know what's funny? I was against it a few months ago, even still. I remember when the trailers were coming out, and I remember when the teasers were coming out with him. He was on this, like, upside down boat. I thought it looked ridiculous. I really did. And, a lot of people say, well, oh, Dan, you must be eating your words now, right? And I'm actually not. Shockingly, you might expect I am, but I'm not. I still do not blame myself a few months ago for being skeptical about this show. Because the original teasers for this show and the way they made it look, they made it look really goofy. I'm not going to lie. The original teasers were really weird. But the show itself and the episodes themselves, I like it. I really like it. Now, that being said, I was very surprised on how much I didn't like the teasers, but then when the actual show came out, I really enjoyed it. And I really have been enjoying it so far with the first 3 episodes. It's very unique. It's very good. It's very just, kind of like classical type feeling, But the scenery has been absolutely out of this world. The budget for the show, and I think we could all agree, it's definitely the biggest budget for a Walking Dead spinoff we've had. Easily. I think it's the biggest budget for a Walking Dead anything, to be honest. I mean, the amount of stuff they have for this, the locations they're filming in, the city environments, the castles, the overall look to it, it's absolutely unbelievable what they've been able to do. And it really is blowing me away, to be honest. But here's the thing too, right? One of the things that I was really worried about with this show is that, are the characters going to be good? The new characters that are in here? Because I think we could all agree, Daryl we all knew was going to be good. Like, Daryl is always good. But with the new characters, are we really going to enjoy these new characters? And I am shocked to say, but some of the best things to come out of this Daryl Dixon series have nothing to do with Daryl Dixon, which might shock you. I think that this Quinn storyline with, him, Laurent, and Isabel has been absolutely amazing. And it's been really gripping. I really enjoy Isabel as a character. I really do like Laurent as a side character as well. I really enjoy Quinn so far as a villain. I think the actor has a lot of charisma, and I think he's a very unique villain. We've never had a nightclub villain in the Walking Dead universe before, And that's what I mean. The show is very unique. It's very original. There's no rip-off type of stuff to me, and I know that might shock people, but to me, I'm not seeing the Last of Us rip-off yet. I'm not seeing it. Laurent being the new Messiah is nothing like Ellie being bit and, this whole kind of thing. So I'm not really sure what people were talking about when it says, like, it's a Last of Us ripoff. And I'm not even sure what Greg Nicotero meant when he said that there were similarities. I mean, a lot of people say, like, oh, well, the mother was pregnant and she gave birth to Laurent and he survived. And then, the sister or whatever kind of went on with the kid or whatever, and maybe that's like Ellie. But here's the thing, I don't see that at all, because Laurent isn't like immune yet. They didn't like fully establish that. Not to mention, the scene itself of her, dying in childbirth and stuff and all that stuff, I honestly don't think it's a ripoff at all because we get to then see what happens later on with Laurent. It's a very different storyline. It's not like I'm immune and I'm this and we got to get her to this, certain location. No, with Laurent, it's like he's smart, he's this and that. And look, I do acknowledge that the Messiah thing, look, I hear you, the Messiah thing, it's a little bit ridiculous. It's definitely not something that I think it was ideal for the show. I don't think they needed to do the whole Messiah crap with Laurent. I definitely agree that it's a plot line that definitely I could take it or leave it, to be honest. But I don't think it's a ripoff of The Last of Us. I don't think it is. Not to mention, the early stuff from The Last of Us when we saw it earlier this year. We had the one scene where the mother gave birth to Ellie and stuff in the season 1 finale and stuff. But that was filmed, that was released way after the Daryl Dixon was filming. Last fall, the Daryl Dixon series was filming, and they filmed those scenes, you know what I mean? So it's not a ripoff of the opening scene of season 1, episode 9 of The Last of Us, because they couldn't have known, right? So that's not the same thing either. And Laurent is not bit and immune, and they're getting him to this place. Like, I don't see in any way how that's a ripoff. I really don't. After seeing a few episodes, I cannot say at all that Laurent is, a ripoff of Ellie. He's not anything like her. There's not anything that's similar, if you ask me. Maybe the only thing that's similar is that he's an intelligent kid. You know what I mean? That's about the only thing. Aside from that, I don't get it. I don't get why people are saying it's a ripoff. And to be honest, again, we'll have to see where it goes. Maybe at some point they start ripping off The Last of Us. Who knows? But at least 3 episodes in, I'm not seeing it. I'm really not seeing it at all. So yeah, that's great. And then Daryl himself, he's been absolutely amazing in this show. I love the way he's acting. I love the, some of the comedy scenes with him, calling him Father Daryl last episode. And yeah, I thought that was really good. Daryl feels very refreshing in this show too. They've given him an extra spark, I feel like, which is good. I feel like Daryl still needed that, right? And in terms of the villains for this show too, I really, really dig them. I really do. I mean, Coldon especially, the motives are there, you know what I mean? He thinks Daryl's the son of a bitch that killed his brother because of that Marie Belle girl or whatever, right? So it makes sense why Coldon is so angry at Daryl, and plus Daryl killed like most of his squad with the nuns as well, so he's finishing that fight, right? And Jeanette, I find her to be very interesting as well too. The actors in this show are very, very believable. They don't feel fake. The acting feels authentic, and I really like her as well too. She's running this ship, and she's trying to catch the American, and she's trying to find him. She's now sending Codon out there to do her dirty work, which of course she's not going to deny because she's already making experiments with walkers. Which that's another thing about this show. We're getting really big evolved walkers, which I think is really, really amazing. We're getting burners all the time. One of my biggest criticisms with the Last of Us series in particular is that the dead were like barely involved. Like they were barely there, And The Last of Us, this is what they would have done with the burners. They would have made them show up in the first episode and then we would have never seen them again. You know what I mean? In this show, they talk about them all the time. We've seen them multiple times now already just within the first 3 episodes. Daryl had to deal with like 2 of them in episode 3. He dealt with them in the first episode. We then saw that really fast sped up walker in that room or whatever in episode 3. The dead actually matter. The dead are actually here too. So in that aspect, I think it murders The Last of Us in terms of a TV show. So there you go, right? The dead are actually a problem. The dead are actually an issue. And certain ones are pretty damn scary. I'm not going to lie. If you saw a burner coming up to you like that and you had no choice but to kill it, but you can't touch it, oh man, like it is a really, really awesome concept. It really is. And, again, we may talk about how variants are kind of a desperate move on, Gimple for the franchise to go on for 5-10 more years. And variants is how you do that. Variants is how you keep the franchise alive. Look, I get it. It's very goofy. It definitely is something that kind of came in late. I don't deny that. But at the same time, it's like, all right, look, if you're going to do it right. And I think they're doing it in a really good way, And I think overall, I think it's been fine. You know what I mean? So, yeah, in terms of a series so far, in terms of the first 3 episodes, I really have enjoyed it. I really have. I think this new era for the Walking Dead franchise has been a lot better than the first. You know what I mean? Because with the first era of the franchise, we had Fear the Walking Dead, we had World Beyond, we had Tales. It just is not good. It's not good. I mean, we had the main show for sure, but it just wasn't good. This new era for Walking Dead, these are spinoffs that I can actually recommend to people. Go watch Dead City Season 1. Go watch Daryl Dixon Season 1. These are spinoffs I can actually, tell people, like, look, go and watch that, you know what I mean? And look, I acknowledge a show like Dead City, especially, that show is very, like, you don't even really need to watch it. It's not all that necessary. Although the France show, I can actually say there is some stuff to watch for this show. There definitely is, whether or not in a season or two, Daryl ends up leaving France and goes back on his own, and we forget about this whole plot line, which, I'm kind of expecting. It's good filler, I will say. Even if that is the case, it's good filler. And we are learning about zombies, so to me, it's not fully filler. It's not, here's the thing. There's good filler, and to me, good filler is Dead City, okay? And I know that might, come across, in a really weird way, but Dead City, to me, does not feel like it has a point to it. It just is fun, extra bonus content with Maggie and Negan. It does not feel like there's actual, real story progression to it. It really doesn't. But when a show like Daryl Dixon comes in here, and yeah, I'll admit, a lot of this stuff will probably end up not really being relevant by the time Daryl goes back to the States. But it's still, to me, as long as there's good filler, as long as the filler is good and it's not trash, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I think the teasers for the Daryl Dixon series were really off. I don't appreciate them at all. But the show itself and the episodes themselves and the villains and the storytelling and the new characters, the new walkers, the feel of it, the visuals, the overall landscapes, I think they're nailing it so far. I really do. I think so far it's been a great, great series. Obviously, we still have 3 more episodes left. Is there time for it to still go to shit or get even better? Absolutely. But either way, I'm excited to see it. And I think right now they definitely are doing a great job with this show. So let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think of the Daryl Dixon series so far? How do you feel about it? How do you kind of look at it so far as a show? And do you think it's a success for the Walking Dead franchise? Do you think this is a show that you would actually recommend to people that may have dropped out on Walking Dead a few years ago? You know what I mean? Let me know. So, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for the Daryl Dixon series. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.